Good morning and welcome back to Prayer Cave TV, the Uchao Don't Break Show. My name is Eric Kimondo and I am so happy and blessed together with you to have this morning our guest Mr. Felix Nzuki from OptiPro Kenya Limited together with us to talk about organization performance, and specifically today is going to be dealing with the 6 employees archetypes. Whatever you're going to hear here today, you've never heard it again in your life. Karibu sana Mr. Nzuki.
Thank you so much, Eric.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing very well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm grateful to God for His great grace and mercy.
Wow.
Yes.
How is OptiPro? Biashara bado mnatibu?
And we have become a business doctor.
Kabisa.
And we are realizing the patients are many than God. But God has given the grace to a team who believe He has diagnosis and treatment.
Wow.
It's working.
It's working.
There is hope.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
One of the biggest sickness in organizations is performance. And thank you so much for taking this opportunity to come and speak to us about this organization performance issue. I'm going to give you now this opportunity. Give us an overview of this and also the subject. Karibu sana.
Awesome. Great. So I want to acknowledge and appreciate our audience today. We are grateful for you joining us, even as we discuss matters of performance, organizational performance. Every organization is part of this today. It's not only businesses, but now organizational performance. Anywhere where there is people, we want to touch on those fundamentals. How can organization excel in performance? And what is the role of people when it comes to organizational performance? I remember a few weeks, we talked about the 3 pillars of organizational performance. We said there is now the visionary who gives the strategy, the plan. Of course, in the plan, they define the vision, the mission, and the values. So the clarity of that plan also contributes to the performance of the organization. Number 2, we said now there is the people. People will be like the vision bearers who will come and run with this vision, which is well written and documented with clarity. So these people are supposed to take it and run with it to deliver according to expectations. Then, of course, the third one, we want these people to be more productive. So we create systems and processes to govern the boundaries, and systems to support in efficiency, so that these people can be very efficient. But now when we look at critical resources in an organization, we find that now the people pillar stand out as the biggest pillar in organizational performance. So today is an interesting topic. We want now to understand now that people are the biggest pillar in an organization. Us as leaders, do we understand these people, their behaviors, where they are, and what makes them make certain decisions about your organization? What pushes them towards certain decision to behave in a certain way? We realize that in a lot of organizations, when we have low performance or lost productivity, organizations are losing millions of money simply because of lost productivity. What does that mean? That means you have people who have potential, because the people are skilled. When you hired them, they promised they understand the job, they can work under pressure. They promised a lot, but somewhere along the journey, they're not performing. You realize some have gotten dissatisfied, others are disengaged, and then we begin losing productivity. So if you look at the millions of dollars organizations are losing due to lost productivity, it's quite enormous. So we want to focus on productivity as an item, which is that built by the people. So we are speaking to leaders.
Yeah.
We are speaking also to the people, so that you can identify yourself and say, I belong to this category. I think this is where I am. This is what I'm going through, and these are the reasons. And probably this is what I can do to change the situation.
Wow.
So when we talk about the 6 archetypes, we are sort of creating a spectrum. And on one end of the spectrum, if you are to color code this spectrum, we start from the red. We are used red means danger. So the danger side, the red, and the other end of the spectrum, we are moving to green. So at the red, we have highly dissatisfied people.
Oh man.
And highly disengaged people. So there was a recent study which was measuring the level of dissatisfaction and engagement in relation to productivity. How does satisfaction and engagement of the employee relate to performance? So we were able to develop and come up with the 6 archetypes. You know, the word archetype means this is a universal human behavior.
Okay.
Go to China, go to America, come to prayer cave, go to a religious institution, go to a corporate, go to a school. Now, these archetypes, you'll find them in every organization, from red
to green.
So today we will make an attempt to identify them, because this will help you as a leader to know, how can I treat this person who is dissatisfied and disengaged? How can I move him from this zone to the middle zone, and then from the middle zone to the top zone? 3 zones: lower, middle, and then top. Yes, so today that is what we're doing.
Wow.
Understanding the psychology workers.
It's going to be interesting. of a keen highlight there is that no matter how a vision can be big, the visionary can have everything, even all the money, but employees can bring the whole thing down or make it go all the way up.
Yes.
So employees are the biggest organization factor?
Yeah, we call it the main critical resource. This is the primary critical resource of the organization. The employee is the engine of the car. Without the engine, it's not a car, it's a bicycle.
But it, as employers, we focus on the wrong item. Maybe we focus on sales, capital, expansion, and ignore.
Spot on. You're spot on. I've seen organizations with a good plan, good strategy, good market, good product, good systems, everything good, good building, infrastructure. But now they've neglected the people pillar. People are very dissatisfied to the point of disengaging. So what happens? A good organization, the moment they lose their critical resource, which is people, then we don't have an organization. For that organization to collapse, I mean, it will take a few days. As long as you've touched that pillar, look at a house which is supported by 3 pillars. There's one which you touch, then there's no house. You better lose the other 2 pillars and remain with people who are highly satisfied and highly engaged. These people will build systems again. These people will build strategy for you. These people will bring the market for you. These people will carry the brand. So people becomes the major focus. And we are saying leaders, we need now to look back. on the people's pillar, how critical it is. But now to help us is where we have developed now the six architects to understand what does it mean to have some people on the red, how does it mean to have a middle ground, how does that look, and then the green, how does that look? Yeah, so that is really what you're expecting from us today.
Grab a notebook, grab a pen, sit down, because we are going to get started on this one. I assured you, the things you are going to hear, you've never heard them again. So Karibu, start us off, maybe from the most dangerous one.
So we start from the bad to the good.
To the good.
All right. The first category, we're going to give them a name. They're called quitters. These are people who are ready to quit. Probably they are at the door. They're moving out. They're leaving your organization. So, why are they quitting? Now, quitters are people who feel undervalued. They're not necessarily non-performers. They might be some of your great talents, your niche talent, your good performers. But now they've made a decision. It is over. We're going. So they feel undervalued. Others will feel not well compensated. And someone out there has given them a better offer than what you're giving them. So these are quitters. So there is that category in your organization. So when we did some studies, you find that on average, this number can go up to 10%. So 10% of your team, they are quitting. That's a bad news. 10% of your members are on the door.
On average.
10%. If your organization has 100 people, 10 are feeling undervalued, and they're beginning to locate, where can I be valued? Where can I be recognized? Where can I be respected? And a percentage of that, they are going because of the money. Where can I get better value in terms of compensation? So we call that category quitters. So what is your role as a leader, as an employer, when you realize so and so, they are quitters, they are quitting? So what you do is, when you realize that signal early enough, then you can be proactive and so do something about it. If it's about someone feeling undervalued, of course now you need to engage them. You need to let them know you give them some meaningful work. Look at their brain power and engage them. Because what they've done, over time they have grown to be dissatisfied, and they feel disengaged because you're not utilizing their brains. So these people, they're not comfortable. They start feeling out of place, out of sync. So it is upon you as a leader. For those who have been placed in leadership roles and responsibilities, they have an obligation to identify this person is disengaging, they are getting dissatisfied, and I need to know the reasons behind that. Is it that I'm not providing meaningful work? Is it that I'm not valuing them? So that is a recipe for quitting. So we call them quitters. 10%. Look at your organization. If you're keen enough, a good leader needs to be aware these people are quitting. How many are they? And what can I do proactively to make them back to performing? Because the moment they disengage, the moment they feel dissatisfied, their productivity comes down. From top to zero.
Dead zone.
Yes. So you've lost 10 people. 10%.
All right.
They're quitting. So now we have a second category. It's called the disruptors. Disruptors. Now, the bad news is this is a bad category. This is a bad one, because these are quiet quitters. They're not leaving. They're not going anywhere. They have just decided to switch off. That I am dissatisfied, I am disengaging, but now beyond that, I will start doing things which are counterproductive. They become what we call detractors, negative energy. These are not your brand ambassadors. They are within the organization. They are going nowhere, but now they are draining the energy. We call them energy vampire. Productivity vampires. So these people are now affecting the people who are performing. They're talking bad about the organization. They begin seeing problems in the organization. They begin questioning the leadership. They begin doing anything which now can turn out to be toxic. These people are not necessarily toxic themselves, but over time, the organization has done things which has led to these people disengaging and has caused these people to be very dissatisfied, and they have decided we're going to be quiet, we're not going to do any meaningful work, we're not going to give you any value, we'll be just there, busybodies, to be seen, but also they do some damage. So these people are harming your organization. So again, this is a creation of the environment, of the organization, of the culture, of the leadership. Maybe over time they don't feel supported and they gave up. So what do we say? They disengaged. They actually actively disengaged. Actively. Yes. The key word is they are actively disengaged. So what happens if you have these people in your organization? They are actually pulling down the people who are supposed to be performing. They're actually doing what we call brand damage. They are damaging your reputation, but they're still in your payroll. You're paying, you're feeding their families. So we find that statistically, these people are around 11%. They are there. They are not leaving. They are now busy disrupting, actively disengaged. They're not worried about your customer anymore. They're not worried about your product anymore. They're not concerned about your brand anymore. They are actively disengaged. 11%. So you as a leader, you as a founder, number one, you are aware that you have such a team, 11 people, 11% out of 100. Are you aware, number one? If you are aware, do you want to bring back them back to performance? Because you need a team. You cannot do without a team.
Yeah.
And not everyone will be your A team. So these people are there. So what are you doing about it? So this is a challenge to our leaders. And when we are training our leaders, these are the facts they need to be aware. When we are saying you need to manage a team, you give a leader a team to manage, you need to know that those who you are pushing toward disengagement because of the work culture, because of the work environment you're creating, because of the lack of support you're not giving them, because of the compensation you're not promoting them. So over time, it becomes a problem and they disengage and actively start disrupting. So don't shoot yourself on the foot. This is a creation of the company and it is a creation of the leaders. So it is our role and obligation to see whether we can transform. So you have now, you've lost 10% to quitting, and you have now the quiet quitters, 11%, 22%, that is 21% of people who are not adding value, but actually they are causing damage. So that is the lower part of the spectrum.
Okay.
Now we're moving from there to the middle part of the spectrum.
That one.
That one. Mm-hmm. So where we will find now two other categories, two other interesting types of people. We must know them. Lazima tuwatambue. We have to uncover. Lazima. We have to know them. Now we call them mildly disengaged. Mildly. You know the first one, the disruptors were actively disengaged. Now this one are mildly disengaged. Now what attributes, what do we know about them? These people, they give you the bare minimum. Bare minimum. They go and look at their JD. You've heard this language. This is not in my JD, sir. Sir, this cup, my work is not to move this cup from here to here. It's not in my JD. My JD goes to as far as moving this phone from here to here, but not the cup. Not the cup, sir. Not the cup. I've seen a meme on Facebook where this plumber, they were supposed to lay a pipe along the road, so they find a stone, a small stone. Man, they use over 10 joints to go round the stone. And when we ask them, boss, what is happening? They say the stone was not in our scope of work.
Yes.
Now, you have this team in your organization. I'm talking to founders. You have 32%.
32%.
32%. They are giving you the bare minimum. They are people who just look at their JD and from their job description, they want just to deliver that. These are nice people. Let's call them nice people. They will put in the effort and the time, but to deliver what? Bare minimum. So that at the end of the month is a pay slip, right? They don't care if we don't capture new markets. They don't care that we have competitors. They don't care that we have political risks to manage. But because as long as they have come and you've given, today you're doing this and this, they will actually do this and this. But really, as an organization, we are sitting on a risk. We are sitting on a competition risk. We are sitting on a market risk. We are sitting on a political risk. We are sitting on a lot of risk. Technological risk. So can we afford to have 32% of our people? Just they are not very satisfied. They are not dissatisfied. They are not fully disengaged. They are not actively engaged. Wako tu pale. These people are just there. So these people form 32%. So now tell me where we are. 10, 11, 32.
53%.
Half of your organizations are not taking you to Canaan. Half of your team, you are the unawabeba, man. You're carrying them. Now this is the question. Do you know these people? Can you put names to their faces? Now that is the work of the leader. That's where you want to come in as a leader. Understand the psychology of your people. No, who among my 100 people are there just to give me the bare minimum? All right. Is there something I have done as a founder, as a businessman, to cause them just to give them? Am I giving them enough knowledge in terms of skills? Maybe they're limited in terms of their knowledge, and they can only do bare minimum, right? Is there something you can do as a leader to change the situation? It might be not compensation. It might be, you know, the people, the leaders, they have to give. 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 They have to maybe skilling. Am I giving them leadership support?
Yeah.
Am I guiding them? You remember when we talk about situational leadership, we find that there is a team which needs to be directed. There's a team which needs to be coached. There is a team which needs to be supported. And of course now, the A team you delegate. Those are good. But this team down here, are we directing them? Are we coaching them? Are we supporting them? What are we doing? Are we upskilling them? Because they're giving us what they were given at school.
Flat.
Bare minimum. And to earn their check.
What? We've looked at 3.
Yes.
We are going to take a short break. When we come back, we go now through the other 3. We are at 53% and it is dangerous. So the other 47, we are going to see if they are enough to carry the whole organization to Canaan. So see you shortly after this break. Welcome back to Prakev TV, the Child on Break Show, and we are talking about organization performance, and we are seeing a key issue. The vision can be big, the money can be there, infrastructure can be there, but if you don't take care of the people element, the whole thing can come down. And this morning, Mr. Felix Nzuki from OptiPro Kenya Limited is taking us through the 6 employee archetypes. Anybody that is working in your organization is in either of these 6 categories, and we've talked about 3. Can we go to the 4th one?
Great. So now we want to go to the middle ground. We are already done with the mildly engaged, mildly disengaged team. The middle ground is not a very safe place. You don't want your organization really to dwell there for a long time because you're going to burn. Utachomeka. So there's another category in the middle ground which we must identify. We must identify these guys because what they're doing something we call double dipping. Double dipping. They are double dippers. These are well knowledgeable people. These are people who are performing. These are performers, but they're double dipping. What is double dipping? You are working with this organization, but also you are working with that organization, and also you're giving your good services to the other organization.
The consultants.
And they are on a full-time employment in your pay slip.
Right.
Number one, I know it's illegal. You cannot draw salaries from more than one employer on a full-time basis, unless you're a consultant like me. Me, I'm consulting. I'm not double dipping. So, what is their motivation to do this? These are like players. They are playing organizations. So what is driving them? You'll find now money becomes a strong factor. These people like your organization, they like your product, and they have the skill to deliver. But again, they feel the money is not adequate. So they feel I'm not adequately compensated for this skill. And company B can also get benefit from my skill and put something in my pocket. And if that is not enough, company C can also get something. But I'm promising every company I'm giving you my 8 hours from 8 to 5. I'm all yours. But that is not true. When they sit behind their laptop, now they open company B. So for the first 2 hours in the morning, they are working for company B, but they are presently in your office. You can see them and you're happy they are working hard. You can see they are working hard. Walifika mapema on time to work for company B, not for you. So these people, well, they're not that many. 5%. On average, 5%. So there's 5 people in your organization. If you have a team of 100, 5 of them are double dipping. You're paying them 100%, company B is paying them 100%, and they're getting something from company C. So what is the problem here? Is it compensation? How important, how critical is their value? How critical is the service that they're doing? Can you afford to identify them and compensate them properly, and then have a system to ensure they are working for you? It's not a good space to really to be, because a good and committed employee, a satisfied and a well-engaged employee, will not even work between 8 to 5. As long as their commitment is there, they are beyond time. But now double dippers, the moment they leave the office at 5, they are running to the next assignment. So they are too busy round the clock, and of course you realize if their mind is all over the place, they are not giving you full focus. So in their free time, they are not thinking about your customer and your product. So they're not fully engaged. So this has an impact on their performance. So their performance will be just average. And these are people who can give you high performance if they could sit down and strategize. Where is my customer? What is the customer experience that we're demonstrating? I mean, you realize you've seen some good people giving work which has errors. And you're like, why should I be correcting your errors every day? I mean, why this job is just good? It's not excellent, it's not amazing, it's not striking. You're not going far and beyond. So that's the reason these people are double dippers. So 5% of your team, they are doing that kind of stuff. They're double dipping. Yeah. So you need to identify them, you need to manage them, you need really to give value to your organization. You need to do something about it. Double dippers.
Wow.
Yes.
Double dippers.
So in the middle ground we have the mildly disengaged and the double dippers.
Double dippers.
Good guys who are not good.
That ushers us now to the last quarter.
The best guys. We go to the best guys.
The fifth one.
Yes.
Mind you, we are at 58% now of the organization.
It's gone. So we want to see, can we recover in the 42% remaining?
42% remaining.
Can we do something? But now there's good news. The 42% are two categories, and these are good guys. The first category, they are highly reliable and highly committed. These people will go beyond, above and beyond. These people, you tell them we are moving from A to Z, they will move from A to Z. Why? Because they have the skill, they have the energy, they have the motivation, they have the passion. These people will get the job done. The issue we have here is these people will do business as usual. This is what we do once we report. This is our craft. This is what before us. They will execute. They will deliver for you. They are good. They are good. So these people, you need to keep them. They represent a 38%. So 38% of your team is in that category, which we call good. But now when you talk to the likes of the Steve Jobs of the Apple, he will tell you good. It's not good enough. Good is not what will take us to the space. Elon Musk will tell you. Good will not take us to space. Good will not take us to Mars. I think Elon Musk is trying to take us to the other planet. Now, for you to take us to the other planet, good will not do it. So we are not yet there. Because we have good people who are doing business as usual. That's the key word. The good guys, they are motivated, they are satisfied, they are committed, so they are highly engaged. But now they are doing business
as usual.
If you don't tell them this is the way, then they will not do that. But you tell them we need to deliver this scope, they will do it 100%. You tell them. They need leadership, you can see. You need to define what to be done. You need to digest for them. They'll do the job. But is that good enough?
Yeah.
So in business, in modern entrepreneurship, we are now introducing a terminology. We are saying good is not good enough. Good guys are not good enough. There's something we call excellent. There's something we call best. There's something we call brilliant, amazing. So now, before we run out of time, I need to talk about the last guy.
Last one, yeah, 4%.
So the last guy, we call them thriving stars.
Wow.
Thriving stars. Now, these people are very important to an organization because of a number of reasons. Number one, these people have the ability to adapt and create an environment where everyone feels a safe space. These are people, we call them value creators. Why? They are strategic. These people are visionary. These people have such level of ownership to the extent that they can match the owner, the founder. You might confuse these people with the owner, with one of the shareholders. So these people carry your burden. These people, when they're sitting down, they're thinking, who is our next customer? These people, when they're sitting down, how can we solve the next problem? How can we dominate the market? How can we solve this problem? How can we create a good work environment? How can we innovate? Now, these people are critical. These people are the A team. But you see now there are how many?
4%.
There are only 4 people. So if you're 100, you're 4 people, right? If you're 50, there are 2
people.
If you're 25,
What?
below 25. My brother, how big is your team? Are you below 25? I want to tell you how many thriving stars you have. Below. They are not. This is a rare breed.
Wow.
Right? If you get them, you need to protect them. Because they know too much, they may find themselves giving support to every department. You may find yourself giving them a lot of assignment because really they please you, because they get it right.
Yeah.
You may send them to the customer, you may send them to innovate, you may send them to the strategy team, you may send them to welfare. These people have a risk of burnout. These people are fully sold out to you. They are fully committed. They are fully engaged. But now, in terms of vision, they are carrying your vision. You need these people. So if you get one, by luck or by chance or by effort, whatever, if you have this person in your team, it might be one person. You need to motivate them. You need now to, they might burn, but the problem is they are burnout because they are very resourceful.
Wow.
So you just want to make sure they're not, they will not burn out. They'll not give up. They'll not blow up their mind because they are really doing a good job. They're innovating. They're creating safe space. They are dealing with the problems. They're solving the problems of the company. So we call them the thriving stars. If you don't do what I've said, take care of them, you convert them from thriving stars to directly quitters. Directly. from thriving stars to quitters. They don't have middle ground. They know their self. They are cultured. They are professionals. They don't have the game of going quiet quitting. They don't have time to disrupt and cause harm to the company. No. If they don't want them, they quit.
They quit.
They join the quitters. So you need to identify them. You need to know this is your gold. It is rare. And then you hold them close. They will change the organization. They will open new markets. They will take you to Ouagadougou in Burkina Faso. They'll take you to Cairo in Egypt. These are the people. They'll take you to Mogadishu in Somalia. This is the thriving stars. Wow. So 6 archetypes of people. If you're focused and you identify them, you need to be very well in psychology, understand human behavior, categorize them, and do what is correct. So there are actions you can do. Top things you can do. Number 1, look at the compensation. Is it adequate across the board? Number 2, are you creating meaningful work, which to make people want to work, feeling engaged? So is the work meaningful? What is the work environment? Number 3, are you creating an environment where people feel they want to exist? This is home. So look at the work environment and do something about it. And then number 4, are you investing in learning and development? These people you need, are you upskilling? Of course, we found there's one category which they're just doing bare minimum because of their skill level. So if you don't do anything, focus on those 4. You can do another one, work flexibility. Work flexibility, there are people who don't want to be micromanaged. They can do their stuff. The ones who are reliable, they can go above and beyond. So does work flexibility mean something to them? So you can introduce work flexibility, and if at least you get these 5 things right, compensation is right, work flexibility, environment, and then training, and then are you giving them what we call supportive leadership? If you can, some people just need support. If now the leadership is available, reliable, and supportive, those are 6 things. If you do them, performance is going to improve. Yes.
Thank you so much for giving us gold, for the gold nuggets. For anybody that is running a business, if you run this video backwards and watch again intentionally, you're going to change your organization. Tell us about OptiPro, even as we are coming to the end.
Thank you so much. OptiPro, as we said, we are engineering people and organization. We are treating them. We are the doctors. So these are some of the aspects we look into. When we come to your organization, we are able to do thorough audit, diagnosis. Where are you bleeding from? Why is your organization overheating? And how can we cool it down so that it can perform? So whether it is strategy you need, we'll do strategy. Whether it is the people capacity building, we'll build it. Whether it is systems and the processes, we will do it. Of course, we are ISO certified lead auditors. So we have HR practitioners and we have strategists in our team. So we are able to hold your hand, transform your organization in all the 3 dimensions, and get you moving into results.
Wow.
Yes.
Phone number.
If you you can reach us. My number is 0720 327978. I love WhatsApp. Just WhatsApp me. You can also call me. WhatsApp will do better. On Facebook, you'll find us OptiPro KE. OptiPro KE. We are also on YouTube as Enterprise School of Africa. You'll find us. So get in touch with us. Let us see how we can really transform your organization to performance.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you. And say hi to your partners when you get back.
I will.
Especially Mr. Simon.
I will. He's a good guy. He's a thriving star. Yes.
Amazing.
Good.
Thank you so much for that knowledge. Tunashukuru sana. What we have to say is we thank God because of this that he has prepared for us this morning, and putting this knowledge in men like Mr. Felix, Dr. Felix, to come and share with us that we treat our businesses not to failure but to success, and that is the will of God. So tunashukuru Mungu. We thank God. We thank God. We thank God. We thank Bishop Dr. Thomas Mode and Reverend Phyllis Mode for your support. Thank you, thank you, thank you for blessing us. Thank you for praying for us. Thank you, thank you, thank you for this platform. Tunashukuru sana. I want to thank the people producing the Child on Break Show. We have Peter Moira, Sheila Huro, and Maureen Boyani. Thank you so much. Together with the entire Prayer Cave TV staff, your labors in the Lord are not in vain. Leo tutajipima tujue tuko wapi kwa archetypes. And to you, viewer, we love you, we appreciate you, and we pray for you every day. See you on Monday for another blessed episode of the Child on Break Show. See you.